welcome back to my channel. My name is Noelle and I blog here about home makeovers, home interiors, fashion, and sometimes travel. And today we are actually going to talk about some fashion. If you've been following me and you've been watching my latest videos, then you know that it's kind of all been about the Sorta House. So a lot of makeovers, a lot of home DIYs, and it probably seems like I don't talk about this other stuff, but I do. If you're here from the blog, then thank you very much for also watching my other content. So this is not clickbait. I am going to talk about luxury haul purchases a little bit later in the video. I will have timestamps below, but I do want to kind of preface just this haul. If you read my blog, if you don't, I will link it below. At the beginning of this year, I talked about how I was going to have a low buy shopping year. And if you're not familiar with what that is, it was basically a trend that people started looking at, I would say maybe like a couple years ago, 3 to 5 years ago, where you're really looking at your spending, you're looking at why you're spending, and you set parameters for yourself around your spending. Some people go really extreme and they do no buy years. I knew that that was not going to be something I was able to do right out of the gate. So I did a low buy year, and while I set a number of rules for myself, and again, if you want to read those rules, I'll link the blog post below. I think talking about 3 of those rules is really important to understand the motive behind this haul. And I guess I want to say that because I want to be sensitive to the fact that I have been impacted by 2020. I've been impacted by the coronavirus in more ways than one. I got it. I got pneumonia after it. I had reduced salary because of the industry that I work in. So by no means am I undermining everything that everybody has gone through this year. And obviously I'm being sensitive to the fact that, you know, if you feel like this was not the year to shop or buy anything, especially luxury goods, like, you know, you are probably right. You're probably right. But for those, you know, who were able to still do those things and who are even just interested in hearing reviews about this product, these products, that is why I wanted to do this video. Number one, I created a completely separate account and I actually put money into that account for spending. I think one of my biggest problems throughout almost all of my 20s is that I didn't budget for shopping. And I've always been a budgeter. I do budget. I follow a $0 based budget. So I literally budget my money down to 0, but I was not budgeting for shopping. And that's really crazy because if I'm not budgeting for shopping, then it's going to cause issues and leakages all across the budget. So that was a big thing for me, completely creating a separate account. The second thing was setting a limit on that account. I had to reach a certain monetary goal to be able to use this money. And I made sure that I picked an amount that was not super easy for me to get to. Like, it wasn't gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna hit this amount in 2 weeks and then I'm still doing all this shopping, but more so that it was something that I knew I could kind of like play a game with myself to reach this amount. Like roundups, I did just automatic kind of like withdrawals, and they were all these kind of like small amounts that I wouldn't really recognize and wouldn't really put a huge impact on my budget. But again, setting that goal, that monetary goal at a number that would allow my shopping to slow down was really, really important. The third goal, which is what comes into play in this video, was making a wish list. And I know some of you are probably like, so you're setting like a goal to shop less and then you make a wish list. But for me, a lot of my shopping was impulsive, meaning I have a bad day, I buy something. I am feeling sad, I buy something. I'm feeling happy, I buy something. I'm celebrating something, I buy something. Like all these pretty typical emotions that we all feel multiple times a day was like my reaction was to shop. When I was doing a lot of shopping here and there, what ended up happening is that every month, every 3 to 4 months, I look in my closet and I'd have all these things that I didn't necessarily want or use, and there were always these like luxury items that like would always stay on my wish list and I'd always gravitate to, and for whatever reason I just wasn't, the click wasn't happening for me to budget and just buy these things. Now I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Did I only buy things on my wish list? Absolutely not. Like, as I said, 2020 took us for a loop and a lot of people coped in a lot of different ways. But I am proud to say that I had significantly less spending than I've ever had in any other year. I did 2 purchases, one with H&M, one with Boohoo, and they were all loungewear. And I think we kind of all did that. Like, the minute we realized that our lives were gonna change and we could all work from home, it was kind of like, okay, I need some new loungewear. So at this point, I've been talking enough. You're probably thinking, the girl said this wasn't a clickbait video, and it's not. Let's get into the things that I actually bought from my wish list and review them. So the first thing that I got off the wish list, and this was literally within like 30 days, and it's because I saw it go on sale, was these Fendi sunglasses. So I saw these on Pocket & Bose, and I think she's actually changed her channel name to her actual name now. But I basically saw these on Pocket & Bose like towards the end of 2019, and I was just like, oh, I really like those. I've never been like an aviators type of girl. I always felt that it never fit my face shape, but I felt like these gave me an aviator vibe, but the circle lens, I've always had kind of circle lens glasses. I love the big Chloe glasses that came out a couple years ago that had wire circles around them. So I felt like this was a very good kind of meeting in the middle. These are pretty delicate. I'm in the city, I'm on trains, I'm on construction sites, and these are light, they're delicate, and honestly, if I dropped these or stepped on these, I think they would break. So these I kind of bought for like vacations, for trips, which outside of 2020 is something that I do fairly often. So not really getting to do any of that. I really didn't get to wear these a lot. But again, I still really like them, and I feel like once the world kind of truly opens back up again, they're really gonna serve as a great vacation sunglasses. Thing that I got, which was not on the wish list, but one of the rules that I didn't mention because it was kind of just like a backup rule for myself, was I am allowed to buy something that I either lost or was damaged if it's something that I wear a lot. And these sunglasses that I just stated are the sunglasses I actually wear every single day. So they are just a standard, I don't even know what these were called, because they come out with these every single year. So it's basically just your standard kind of black slight cat eye sunglasses. They come in like different colors and different kind of like emblems on the side. But basically these are just like my everyday sunglasses. I had these for like all of 2018, all of 2019. I lost them. I didn't lose them. I think someone stole them from me, but whatever. It magically disappeared in January of 2020 of this year. And this was something that I just knew I had to immediately rebuy. All of the outlet stores sell these. So like Off Saks, Nordstrom's Rack, whatever Bloomingdale's one is called, Century 21, they all pretty much keep these sunglasses in stock. I think retail, which I mean, I guess if you go into any of these stores that are not the outlets and you're just like, whatever, I got it like that. These are like $375, $400, but they're, like I said, they're almost always on all of those sites for like $150, $175. So I'll link these below. The next thing that I got off my wish list, which was actually a swap. I think on the wish list I had a signet ring. That's probably not how you say it, but whatever, I'll post a picture. So I actually bought this ring, and when I got it, I felt like it was actually just too small for, like, I feel like I have chunkier hands, and I just felt like the ring didn't really fit my hands. I returned it, and I just changed the ring that I wanted all together. This is from Majorie, I think it's Majorie. I switched it out for the rope ring. And the tag is still on this because I actually finally did the switch out like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I originally bought the ring, I returned it earlier in the year, and then I finally was like, okay, just buy the one you want. So I got this one. It is 14 karat gold. I just felt like this was more in tune with my like actual style. It's a ring that like I'll grab for. I like the dome shape. Yeah. The next thing that I got on my wish list, which this might be the best purchase of 2020. No, it is. It actually is the best purchase of 2020. And don't joke on me, y'all, for my little, because you can see where my big toe resides, my little big toe thumbprint, but it was my Chloe Woody sandals. Now, this was a style that they literally came out with. I want to say it was spring, summer of 2019, or actually I think it was spring, summer of 2021, because we started seeing these at the end of 2019. Now, I will spend money on shoes, but sandals, I kind of just like, really, Noelle? Like, really? You're gonna spend a couple $100s on some sandals? Like, but y'all, when I tell y'all, I wore these shoes out. Like, I wore them out. And you definitely can see some of the wear and the tear. Like, you can see where my toe, I don't know why it's on the right one and not on the left one, but you can see where like my toe prints are. But these are just so comfortable. They go with everything. These were these shoes that I wore probably 4 times a week from May to August. These were the GOAT. These are the GOAT right here. Best purchase of 2020. It's been sitting here the whole video. I don't even know if you could tell. Honestly, the more I thought about it, the more I just was like, I actually need an O case. Like, this is what you need. You don't need another small wallet. You need an O case. You need to be able to like throw your wires and things that you just have with you in the city every day. So that's actually what I use it for. I use it for 2 different chargers. I have like a number of access cards, and I have a portable charger in here. And while it sometimes feels like it's not something that like necessarily was worth how much it costs, even though this was new to me. I got this secondhand via eBay, a trusted seller, like a seller that I bought like a number of things from. Even though it kind of feels like sometimes like, oh, is this kind of stuff like, are SLGs really worth the cost? Honestly, I go through so many little like cheap SLGs that I'm just at the point where I kind of just want all of my small leather goods to be leather, and I want them to be luxury, and I just want to be able to like throw them around and the weather to just look better and better over the years. So it was worth it to me, but again, I definitely understand someone being like, I don't think SLGs are worth the price. I'll put it side by side because I actually don't have it with me, but I'll talk about it. So on my wish list originally, I wanted the classic camel coat from the Curated, and I also wanted a shearling bomber. I knew I wasn't going to get the shearling bomber from the like vendor that I put, from the designer that I actually put on the mood board. That was more for inspiration. The plan was to go down to like the leather and the fur district and get one made for me. That's what my dad did last year, and the jacket is like fire. It's bomb. And I knew that I was actually probably going to get the classic camel coat from the Curated. Well, that coat, if you know anything about the Curated, drops only like 3 or 4 times a year. And if you miss the drops, you basically have to wait months for the next one. So what ended up happening is just, I missed all the drops with what was happening in 2020. It was just like last thing on my mind. And every time I would go to check the site to see if there was a new one, there wasn't. And it would basically be like, come back in 3 months, or this is back ordered to ship in like 2 or 3 months. So I just missed all the drops. It's gonna stay on my wish list for 2021 because this is a coat that I 100% want. But what I decided to do instead is use the money that I really allocated towards that coat towards this other coat that I got, which is like absolutely amazing. Literally feels like a blanket, and it almost is like the best of both worlds of these coats because it's a shearling, it's long, so it comes past like my knees like the way the Curated camo coat did, and it's really warm, which was the 2 things that I really wanted out of these coats. Like, again, I am always outside, I am always on the train, I'm always kind of like going back and forth, and I just really want my outerwear to not only look good but keep me warm, and this coat does that. Thank you so much for watching this video, for chatting finances with me and shopping. And I hope you enjoyed the kind of haul / review portion of this. If you like what you watch, if you like hanging out with me, please remember to subscribe, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, duh, and meet me in the comments because we love a comment party. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.